Dim lights, a silent forest, bloodstains on the police tape. But no witness, no weapon, no answers. Some crimes are like that, where victims take their secrets to the grave, and the killer is never found. Welcome to Top 10 Unsolved Mysteries. A journey through crime, silence, and shadows. Pushpin if you're ready to uncover what the world tried to forget. Hit subscribe to be on Top 10. Top 10. Unsolved Mystery. The lead masks case. 2 dead men and a cryptic message. On November 29, 1970, the burned body of a woman was found in Isdalen Valley, a remote mountainous area near Bergen, Norway. Her arms were neatly crossed over her chest. Around her lay liquor bottles, sleeping pills, a melted spoon, and the scent of gasoline. There were no signs of struggle. The scene was too clean for a spontaneous suicide. In her luggage, police found wigs, sunglasses, various currencies, and a notebook filled with coded symbols. All tags had been removed from her clothing. She had used fake names at hotels. Witnesses recalled her speaking English with a mix of German and Dutch accent. Speculation quickly turned toward espionage. Was she a Cold War spy? A fugitive? Or a target of something even darker? Despite intense investigation, the true identity and fate of the Isdal woman remain one of Norway's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Up Triangle Top 9. The Isdal woman, Norway's coldest cold case. On November 29, 1970, the burned body of a woman was found in Isdalen Valley, a remote mountainous area near Bergen, Norway. Her arms were neatly crossed over her chest. Around her lay liquor bottles, sleeping pills, a melted spoon, and the scent of gasoline. There were no signs of struggle. The scene was too clean for a spontaneous suicide. In her luggage, police found wigs, sunglasses, various currencies, and a notebook filled with coded symbols. All tags had been removed from her clothing. She had used fake names at hotels. Witnesses recalled her speaking English with a mix of German and Dutch accent. Speculation quickly turned toward espionage. Was she a Cold War spy? A fugitive? Or a target of something even darker? Despite intense investigation, the true identity and fate of the Isdal woman remain one of Norway's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Top 8. Unsolved Mystery. Tamam Shud Case. The man with a final message in his pocket. On the morning of December 1st, 1948, a man's body was found lying neatly against a seawall on Somerton Beach, near Adelaide, Australia. He wore a suit, had no identification, and all labels had been cut from his clothes. There were no signs of injury. In a hidden pocket, police found a small scrap of paper with the words, Tamam Shud, Persian for, it is finished. Things got stranger. In a nearby parked car, police found a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, the exact edition from which the paper had been torn. Inside the book, a phone number and an uncracked secret code. As for the dead man, his fingerprints and dental records matched no known person. The Tamam Shud case remains one of Australia's most confounding mysteries. A man with no name, no history, and a final message in his pocket, it is finished. But for whom? Top 7. Unsolved Mystery. Dyatlov Pass. 9 dead in the snow. No one knows why. In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set off for a ski trek in the Ural Mountains. Days later, they stopped communicating. A rescue team found their camp, torn from the inside, and the hikers' frozen bodies scattered across the snow. Some were nearly naked. One had a crushed skull. Another was missing a tongue. All were dead. Hypothermia? Perhaps. But why did they flee their tent in panic? Barefoot and half-dressed? What made them so terrified that they ran into a frozen forest in the middle of the night? Theories range from avalanches to secret Soviet weapon tests, infrasound waves, or even paranormal forces. The Soviet government classified details for years, only adding to the mystery. Today, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of Russia's darkest and most debated unsolved cases. 9 entered the mountain, but what they found, no one truly knows. Top 6. Unsolved Mystery. The Atlas Vampire. A bloodless body and a cold ladle. On May 4, 1932, in a small apartment in Stockholm, Sweden, The body of a woman named Lily Lindstrom was discovered in a chilling scene, lying face down on her bed, completely naked, and her body was drained of blood. Beside her, a metal ladle was found, believed to have been used to drink the blood. Lily worked as a sex worker and was known to be quiet and private. Investigators found evidence that she had a client the night she died. The only clues: a used condom containing traces of semen and blood. There were no signs of forced entry. No neighbors heard anything. The press dubbed it the Atlas Vampire case, named after the Atlas neighborhood where she lived. Police suspected the killer had literally drank her blood, making it one of the most disturbing crimes in Swedish history. Despite interrogating numerous clients, the murderer was never identified. To this day, nearly a century later, the Vampire of Stockholm remains an unsolved ghost story. Top 5. Unsolved mystery: The Boy in the Box. A nameless child found in a cardboard coffin. On February 25, 1957, a college student stumbled upon a cardboard box abandoned in the woods near Philadelphia, USA. Inside lay the naked, battered body of a young boy, estimated to be between 4 and 6 years old. His hair had been crudely cut. He showed signs of long-term abuse. He was wrapped in a flannel blanket. The box had once held a baby bassinet, a haunting irony. Police launched a massive investigation. Flyers were posted everywhere. Thousands of leads were followed. Yet no one came forward. No school missed him. No family claimed him. Decades passed. Even with DNA advancements, his identity remained lost. Theories abounding. Was he an abused foster child? A victim of child trafficking? An unwanted birth hidden in shame? The boy was buried with a grave marker that reads, "America's Unknown Child." To this day, his name is still missing from history. Top 4. Unsolved mystery: Room 1046. The hotel room of silence and death. On January 2, 1935, a man calling himself Roland T. Owen checked into room 1046 at the President Hotel in Kansas City, USA. He behaved strangely, kept the lights off, refused maid service, and took cryptic phone calls. Days later, Owen was found severely beaten, tied up, and barely alive. When asked who attacked him, he whispered, "Nobody." The investigation revealed that the name, Roland T. Owen, was fake. His true identity was never confirmed. Even stranger, letters were sent to his family after his death, mailed from other cities, suggesting someone was pretending he was still alive. No murder weapon, no forced entry. The room was locked from the inside. The case stunned the public, not only because of its brutality but because of the silence, as if Owen chose death over telling the truth. Top 3. Unsolved mystery: The Keddy Murders, Forest Cabin Massacre and Deafening Silence. On April 11, 1981, in the small town of Keddy, California, a 14-year-old girl returned to her family's wooden cabin, Cabin 28, and stumbled upon a nightmare. Her mother, younger brother, and her mother's friend had been brutally murdered. Their bodies were found tied up and beaten beyond recognition. Blood covered the floor, walls, and even the ceiling. 2 younger children had slept through the attack, unharmed. A third child, Tina, age 12, was missing for years before her remains were discovered 50 miles away. Despite having leads, suspects, and circumstantial evidence, police never made an arrest. Files vanished. Witnesses were ignored. Locals suspected a cover-up. Everyone who knew something kept quiet. The Keddy murders remain terrifying not just for the crime itself, but for the silence that surrounds it. Nearly half a century later, Cabin 28 still stands as a symbol of a truth the forest never gave up. Top 2. Unsolved mystery: Crystaltammen. When justice was silenced by those who swore to protect it. On the morning of February 25, 2005, in Manitoba, Canada, Crystaltammen, a mother, wife, and dedicated worker, was killed in a rear-end collision while waiting at a red light. The driver was an off-duty police officer, allegedly intoxicated after a night of drinking with fellow officers. The case, which should have been straightforward, turned into a national scandal. No breathalyzer was administered. Evidence was delayed. Despite a history of reckless driving and drinking, the officer received only probation. Public outrage followed. In response, the government launched the Taman Inquiry, which exposed troubling gaps in the justice system, especially when the perpetrator wears a badge. Crystal is gone, her family is left in grief, and justice remains incomplete. Sometimes, the real mystery isn't what's hidden, it's what everyone can see, but refuses to confront. Top 1. Unsolved Mystery, Hinterkaifeck Murders. The killer who lived among the dead. In March 1922, at a remote German farmstead called Hinterkaifeck, about 70 kilometers from Munich, 6 members of a family were brutally murdered with a pickaxe. 4 victims were lured to the barn and killed one by one. The killer then entered the house and murdered the remaining 2 children. What makes this case especially chilling is what happened next. Neighbors noticed smoke rising from the chimney. The livestock were fed, and beds had been slept in. The killer had apparently lived at the scene for several days, among the corpses. There were no signs of forced entry. Footprints were found in the snow leading into the house, but none coming out. The father had told friends he heard footsteps in the attic days earlier. No one believed him. Over 100 suspects were questioned, but no arrests were ever made. A century later, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most horrifying unsolved cases in history, a reminder that sometimes evil doesn't break in, it's already inside. Some crimes chill us with their violence. Others haunt us, because they're never solved. 10 lives, 10 tragedies, 10 questions without answers. Maybe someone still knows. Or maybe we never will. Speech balloon, which mystery stuck with you? Let us know in the comments. Thumbs up like this video if it gave you chills. Bell subscribe to be on Top 10 for more stories that go beyond the headlines. TV watch our next video here, and keep uncovering the truth that hides in the dark.